I know that we've been studying the book of Ecclesiastes, so the first statement that I'm about to make may not sound like it has anything to do with that, but I just want to share with you that all my life, I never have been able to stand soggy bread. And you may be thinking, what on earth does that have to do with Ecclesiastes? Well, when you begin chapter 11, there's a phrase there that always makes me think of that, because Solomon writes, cast your bread upon the waters. And I've always thought about soggy bread and how awful that is. But he says, cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a serving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. And this sounds a little bit like a passage that almost is disconnected. And yet, I think we have to understand in the context, we see that what Solomon is talking about when he talks about casting the bread upon the waters, he's probably talking about a merchant who's about to take a venture out on a ship. Maybe he's taking grain somewhere that will ultimately be used for bread. And this is more like a business investment in which they'll be gone for a while, and they don't know when they're coming back, and the owner of the ship doesn't know when they're coming back to receive his profit, because he says, and you will find it after many days. And the idea probably expressed by that is that sometimes when you're involved in life or certain activities, you can't always see the outcome clearly. You can't always see it immediately. Sometimes you have to wait and be very patient for what the outcome of life is going to be. I think that's definitely an application from this particular text, but some others have also said we can look at this when you put verse 2 into the picture from the standpoint of generosity. Because in the second verse, he says that you should give serving to 7 and then to 8, because, you don't know what the future is going to hold. You don't know how bad things may become down the road. And really, ultimately, either way you look at it, from the adventure of investing in something and waiting for the payoff, so to speak, or waiting for the reward and having patience for it, or you're thinking about generosity, the outcome is the same, because it's talking about that you do something now, you do something with your life now that, well, you don't necessarily know what the results are going to be or how long it's going to take for the results to come. The reward is a delayed reward, and so you have to be very patient about that. And so you give your serving to 7 or to 8. You're generous with it because you don't know what the future may hold. You don't know how bad it may become. And do for others with what you have now while you have the opportunity. And so when you think about this unusual expression about casting your bread upon the waters, maybe he's saying sometimes we have to give things to others. Maybe they're poor or they're without. And it almost seems like we're throwing bread on the water and we're wasting it. But it's not really like that when you think about the merchant's ship returning with the payload. There is a reward someday. There are blessings to be had someday. We don't do it for monetary purposes, but we do it for the reward that we have spiritually speaking. So yes, indeed, cast your bread upon the waters.